continue to keep working. Like, be the first one in the gym, be the last one to leave. Like, don't ever have that mentality. Like, hey, I'm gonna just do it later. Like, do it now. Like, nothing's stopping you. But get in the gym, lift something. Like there should like why not work out? Like, give me a reason why you shouldn't be working out. Like, you want to be here, but you're not putting the work to be there. So I would say just keep working, be patient, and just trust God that He'll make the right decisions for you.
I would say always stay positive. Always. It's very easy to get negative, especially when you're on the field competing with people who are just as good as you. But you have to remind yourself that you're here for a reason, and you got here for a reason. You got to keep working. It's not going to come easy. My dad always tells me that I'm going to face adversity. I'm going to face adversity no matter what in life. So it's just the way you handle it.
Just trying to have fun out there and compete, man. It's all about competing, man. And really, competing don't stop when you stop playing ball, man, to let everybody know, man, it's going to keep going, man, all the way to you 88. Still going to be competing, man. So you just got to have that mindset to always compete no matter what you're doing. Just compete.
Just always carry yourself by, how you want others to see you. You never know who's watching. Everybody can add value to anybody. It depends on the way you see it. It might not be in the way you think it's going to happen, but I think just building relationships is a big key in life to being successful.
Stay locked in, stay loaded. Like, stay locked and loaded. Stay focused. Limit all your distractions. The party's gonna be there. The girl's gonna be there. The extra fun gonna be there. If you really want it bad enough, you'll stay in the gym, stay in the books. You'll stay focused on your craft. If you really want it, you'll go get it one way or another.
Welcome back to another episode of the DJ Henderson podcast. I'm your host, DJ Henderson, and this is season 4, episode 4. Today's episode will be a different type of episode, a special episode. It'll be a recap of the first half of season 2. This episode will feature the likes of Dakota Rivers, Haley Woodaz, Ryan Anders, Godey Coleus, and DJ Mercer. This episode will feature some of the key bits and pieces from those 5 guests from the first half of season 2. For those of you that have been with the show from the beginning, this might just be an episode that jogs your memory and makes you think back to how far we've come now that we're in season 4. For people that are new to the show and weren't around during season 2, I hope this is an episode that makes you want to go back and just rewatch some of these episodes, hear some of the good information, some of the stories that were shared, and just go back and tune in to some of the stuff that you missed before you were a fan of the show. Next Sunday, we'll be back to our normal format with another special guest interview. I hope that anybody that's tuning into this, that's listening to this right now, you have a happy new year. I hope you had a happy holidays, and I hope 2022 brings you good fortune. It's season 5, and you still haven't subscribed to the show? Shame on you, honestly. It's a shame. Nah, I'm just kidding. That's your choice. I really would appreciate it, though, if you did hit the subscribe button, smash that like button, and turn on post notifications so you never miss a show. We're in season 5, so I want to say that I appreciate anybody that's been tuned in since season 1, or even if this is your first time ever tuning in. I really appreciate the support, and we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. But like I said, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you please smash that like button. I'm not going to start the video until you smash the like button. Seriously, smash the like button. All right, let's go. What was your AAU experience like when you actually did start to play AAU?
When I started playing AAU, it was actually pretty tough. Like, I wasn't good at all. Like, I used to be uncoordinated. I couldn't shoot, dribble, nothing. Like, I was slow. Like, I couldn't do nothing. So then when I grew, it was big for me because I lacked athleticism at the time, and then I really didn't know how much work I needed to put in. So when I realized I could actually be something, I started putting a lot more work, which is the reason why I can jump high now and move better and shoot better and all the other things, because I believed in myself before anyone else did. So
how did the coronavirus impact your mindset just as a person and just as a player?
Well, luckily during Corona, I had a bench press, and we used to just lift all the time, and that was my weakness was my weight. I feel like I was strong, but I was strong and I was strong minded, but I wasn't strong bodied. You feel me? like no matter how strong you are mentally, I feel like physically you got to be strong as well. So like that took me a lot of like it took me a lot to like realize though. And then like during quarantine, I just started lifting a lot. I gained like 10 pounds of muscle during quarantine, which helped me a lot. And just like figuring out my diet, figure out what's bad and what's good for me to eat, and it really helped me like for today. So that's good.
After you started seeing success and your stock started to rise, like what kept you just motivated to keep going and just continue to work hard?
There's a lot of people that I saw ranked above me that I personally knew that I was better than. And then I took that so personal. Like, I'm not gonna say any names, but there was a lot of people that I knew I was better than. And so that gave me that sense of urgency that I need to be in the gym a lot more. I need to start proving myself a lot more. And I honestly, I'm gonna tell you something right now. I believe I did. I feel like I put in a lot more work every year. Like every single year, I knew there was something like. Obviously, like there's stuff that you knew you could have did better, and that's like kind of like the frustrating part. But like I know every year, every day, I did a lot more than I did like the day before. So like I'm happy about that.
What advice would you give to somebody that's up and coming that's just trying to make it?
Just continue to keep working. Like be the first one in the gym, be the last one to leave. Like don't ever have that mentality like hey, I'm gonna just do it later. Like do it now. Like nothing's stopping you. You know what I mean? Unless like something really is stopping you. But if nothing's stopping you, just do it now. You know, a lot of people took advantage of like the gym before COVID happened. And you see like we can't go into the gym for like 5 months now just because of COVID. So like every chance you get, take advantage of like getting shots up and getting a lot more work in, or even just like running sprints on your own. Like just get your conditioning, build your wind. Like this is the little things, like get in the gym, lift something. Like there should, like, why not work out? Like give me a reason why you shouldn't be working out. Like you want to be here, but you're not putting the work to be there. So I would say just keep working, be patient, and just trust God that He'll make the right decisions for you.
For sure. Big on trusting God and putting God first. What's your why? Like what keeps you motivated to just keep going hard and pursuing your dreams?
I would say my why is just for my family. Like I want the best for everyone. I want the best for myself. Let's just get that out of the way. Like I want myself to be successful, but like I want my family to be successful as well. Like my family, they work every day, and I just want to be so successful one day that they don't have to work no more. And I want to just like make everybody in my family happy, and that's what's my goal. Like just to make sure everything in my house, so like we don't have to worry about anything. Like I just want like us to worry about nothing, and that's what just keeps me going. So
well, if you're tuned into this show through YouTube, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody you think should tune in. If you're listening to the show through a podcast service or a streaming website, please subscribe to the show, leave a 5-star rating, and leave a review. Leave your thoughts down below on what you think about the show. What was it like just not quitting and like figuring all that out?
Yeah, so at the time I was like 14, so I was like starting to become a teenager. You know, everyone's going through a tough time at that point. You know, we're all growing. And so yeah, I had this really tough coach. Played favorites. We've all had one of those. And he told me I was never going to play college soccer. So that kind of hurt me because I loved it, you know what I mean? And you don't like being told that you're not going to play something that you love. So that kind of hurt me a little bit, but I kept going. And at the time I'm really tall. So at the time I was very lanky and I wasn't like fitting into my body. So I was terrible at soccer. So like I really was like hurt by it because it could have been true. You know what I mean? If I let up, then I couldn't have played college soccer, but I didn't, and I kept going. And when I got into high school, I was playing with all the older girls, you know, like the seniors are like 18 years old, which is tough going into high school, like when you're 15 years old playing against all these like older girls. So freshman year, I kind of like got used to like the speed of like the game, you know, and yeah, I just kept growing. And as I got into my senior year, I broke the school record for the amount of goals. So that's just kind of cool to like talk about how like I've grown as a player, because it could have been very easy for me to like just let off the gas and just kind of quit, which I didn't, which I'm very proud of myself for doing that, you know. I started to stand out a lot my junior year because I started to notice like all the improvements I got in the weight room sophomore summer. So like the summer after sophomore year. And I just remember my high school coach telling me, she's like, Haley, like the amount of improvements that you've made like over the summer, because I was in the weight room, I was doing extra training, I was training with like other teams, you know. And she was like, the amount of improvement that you've made over the summer is like incredible. Like if you keep doing what you're doing, like you're gonna see major accomplishments and you're gonna be able to play college soccer. And junior year, that's when coaches are allowed to like start reaching out to you and stuff. So I was a little bit late to the game, I would say, just because I committed my senior year, beginning of my senior year. A lot of people I knew committed junior year. So I felt late to the game, which kind of was a little bit scary because I'm like in my senior year, I'm not committed yet, you know. But yeah, so my junior year, that's when I started noticing like all my accomplishments and like I started to stand out on my club team and stuff like that. So
What are some of the main differences as far as academics and playing soccer that you've seen coming from high school to college, from CDS to Jacksonville?
the academics aspect has been a very easy transition because high school was kind of harder for me than college has been. Right now I'm taking on my prereq, so it's not a big deal, but the athletic aspect has for sure struck me a different way. It's a whole new ball game, and I didn't realize that it was going to be. Everything is so much quicker. Like everything that you're used to in high school, you used to be the best, you used to be the biggest, you used to be the strongest. Everyone's the same here, and it's just like now it's like competition. You know, you are fighting for your spot no matter what, and I think that's been my biggest battle for sure. Is I'm like with a group of people who are all the same driven. They're very driven, you know, and they all have the same goal in mind, which I wasn't really used to when I was at home. You know, I was on a competitive team that only 2 people went and played went to go play college soccer, you know. And now everyone's here and everyone's driven and everyone's always wanting to get a spot on the field. So yeah.
What would be your number one piece of advice to somebody that's like up and coming, that's trying to make it?
I would say always stay positive. Always. It's very easy to get negative, especially when you're on the field competing with people who are just as good as you. But you have to remind yourself that you're here for a reason, and you got here for a reason. You got to keep working. It's not going to come easy. My dad always tells me that I'm going to face adversity. You know, I'm going to face adversity no matter what in life. So it's just the way you handle it, and it's the way like how you solve the issue. You know.
Man, listen, man, many kids, man, they come here, freshmen, you know what I'm saying? They come here and they still ain't motivated, still not understanding, you know, the whole process of how the books come first and like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, some people don't get it, man, but for the people that do get it, you know, they end up being better off because you gotta understand it's a business. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, it's just not no high school. It's all lovely. You can, you know, joke off and, you know, all that good stuff. But you get closer to college, man, it's a business. At this point, you got to do your assignment. You got to know what you're doing on this play or, you know, whatever you're playing that zone, 2-3 zone or whatever. You got to know what you do. And if that, you know what I'm saying, come to paint or whatever, you know, you just got to know. So just for like the younger people, man, you just got a real deal understand, like, as you get older, like, life in general is getting to be, like, this is the business where, like, this ain't no more, you know what I'm saying? No, this is business, man. You just got to adapt. That's all. Just got to adapt.
Talk to me about where your confidence comes from, like, your mentality, like, everything. Like, what makes you, bro?
Man, it's just growing up, dog. It's just, like, I knew it could be worse, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I done been in worse situations. I done been in bad situations. I done been in, you know what I'm saying, as far as like living situations, like, you know what I'm saying, like unpaid bills and shit and like having to deal with that. So coming up, I always knew like shit could be worse, you know what I'm saying? And I just always took that in and just always kept my head high and just, try to bring some joy out of, dual moments, man, moments that can bring you down. I just always try to find some joy into it. Always try to smile and, enjoy life, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like I said, I done been in, worse situations, and like I just had to, find joy out of it, man. So and high school really brought me that, it was a lot of fun in high school, man. Even playing sports, that took me away from the neighborhood, then it actually took stuff off my mind, you know what I'm saying, while I was out there on that field or at practice or, whatever it was. So it's just, I just had to, find joy out of stuff, man. That's all. Keep smiling. Yeah, it definitely take dedication, man. You got to be disciplined, dog. Like, you got to know, okay, I need to go to sleep tonight. Like, if I want to be great tomorrow, or if I want to, you know what I'm saying, have a great day at practice tomorrow, or, you know what I'm saying, you got to stay close to God and pray, because that's just going to help you spiritually, you know what I'm saying, whenever you feeling down, and, like, you're just going to get picked up, man. It's just that spirit around you. So, got to stay close to God. Really, man, and you got to be motivated. You got to have your why. You know what I'm saying? Gotta have a why. Cause like you got the why, you know what I'm saying? Then you got a purpose, man. You gotta push. So, you know what I'm saying? It's better for you to have a why out here. No matter what you're doing, man, you could be the mailman. You better have a why behind that. You know what I'm saying? Don't just be putting mail in mailboxes. You better have a plan, or, you know what I'm saying? Unless you at that certain age, so, okay, well, this is what you finna finish off your life with. But you young and you just gotta putting yourself through processes. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a why. You got to make stuff, you know what I'm saying, connect. Because it's always somewhere bigger that you can be, you know what I'm saying? And if you just do what you got to do at the moment, you will get to it, man.
What would you tell somebody that's worried about the level of ball that they being recruited to play at?
You can't worry, man. You just got to play your ass off every game, go to camps, broadcast yourself, promote yourself, have proper etiquette. You gotta have manners. You gotta have respect when the coaches come. You gotta know what to do, know how to talk, how to socialize. You gotta take yourself out of some situations sometimes, man. You gotta walk away sometimes, and just really let God control it, man. And sometimes you gotta get your hands dirty yourself, because I had to get my hands dirty, man. Send out emails and do what I had to do. So it's like, how bad you really want it, and it'll show itself. You won't even have to show it. It'll show itself how bad you really want it. Just try to have fun out there and compete, man. It's all about competing, man. And really, competing don't stop when you stop playing ball, man, to let everybody know, man. It's going to keep going, man, all the way till you 88. Still going to be competing, man. So you just got to have that mindset to always compete no matter what you're doing. Just compete.
If you're tuned into this show through YouTube, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody you think should tune in. If you're listening to the show through a podcast service or a streaming website, please subscribe to the show, leave a 5-star rating, and leave a review. Leave your thoughts down below on what you think about the show. Tell people how important it is to just cherish your opportunities and be ready for your opportunities, because growing up, you always hear you never know who's watching, but your story is a literal case of not knowing who's watching and you seizing the moment. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, it's just, I think the lesson in that is, just always carry yourself by, how you want others to see you. I think I wouldn't be in the position I am today if I didn't, carry myself in a way that kind of resonated, that I could be a part of the program and add value to it. Obviously, they saw that in me without, me having to prove it. So I think just my message for not just people who want to be in my position, but, just for people in general is just, I think, as you said, you never know who's watching. You never know who can help you get to where you want to go. So just, you never dilute in the fact that anybody can help you if you allow them to. And, I think people say, be nice to everybody, but, I think that's really a thing. Everybody can add value to anybody. Just it depends on the way you see it. It might not be in the way you think it's going to happen, but I think just building relationships is a big key in life to being successful.
Talk to me about being a student athlete and what are some of the most challenging parts about being a student athlete?
I think, just the most challenging thing is, just trying to balance, everything between academics and athletics. There's sometimes when you're in the season, you're spending 50, 60 hours between the both of them combined, between, lifting and on the court and film and, getting recovery and treatment and all that. That's about 30 hours of the week. And then, preparing for exams or assignments or whatever you got to do, that's another 20, 30 hours. And, it's definitely a grind and you just have to be prepared for it. Time management, I think you kind of hear that from every student athlete, but it's obviously a key. You got to create a schedule and follow it, or else, you're not going to be successful in what you want to do. And then also, I think, just the sacrifices you have to make to be a part of a team and a program. We're not able to do the things, most college students are able to. You want to go out on the weekends and stuff like that. We're not able to. Just the social life in general. I think, you gotta, what hours you would spend, being in a fraternity or going out and doing those kind of things. You're spending on the court, you're spending doing your schoolwork. So just the balance between athletics and academics. And then I think the sacrifices you have to make to be a student athlete in general are definitely the hardest things that I've seen in my years here.
What's your why? What makes you decide to wake up every morning and continue to just go hard and keep chasing success?
I think for me personally, I kind of have big goals for after I leave UCF. I want to work in basketball, stay in it, work for NBA team, hopefully, get to be a general manager one day. That's the ultimate dream. So I think just knowing, that's not going to come lightly. You got to put the work in to be able to do that. So, it starts at college, building the relationships, not only that I have with Coach Dawkins and the rest of our staff, but also the players we have, the different professors I have. And then I think, just learning, trying to learn something new every day that, can help me not just get to those goals, but just help me in life overall,
If you could give one piece of advice to somebody that's trying to make it in whatever field in life, what would you tell them?
I think my biggest piece of advice would just, to be yourself. There's nobody who can be you better than you. What you want to do, you're not going to be able to do it unless you take the initiative to do it. I think a lot of people try to imitate people that have come before them, which isn't always a bad thing, but you got to create your own path as well. Everything's not just going to be, cookie cut. You just got to do the same thing as everybody else. There's going to be, everybody takes a different road in life. And I think it's just finding what your road is. And I think just finding what you need to do to go down that road and just be successful as possible.
You just touched on it a little. It was a small thing you said, but what is leading right to you? Like, what makes somebody a good leader, and how does somebody lead right?
There's a couple ways you can lead right. You can be a guy that's very vocal. You can be a guy that's like basically a coach on the court that just basically says and does everything coach was saying do, but because coach is on the sideline, somebody else got to do that. You could be a lead by example guy that's going, just do all the right stuff, take charges, dive on a loose ball, box out, talk on defense, get us in offense. You can do that. Or you can be a guy that I tend to try to be. I like to be a mixture of both, because I know just off the face of that, I talk a lot and outside of basketball. Actually, I can carry that onto the court and just be vocal, but I also got to be the guy that does exactly what, like, who practices what he preaches. So if I'm telling guys to box out, if I'm telling guys take charges, dive on the ground, they got to see me do it a lot more than they hear me say it, if you feel what I'm saying. Like, so for me, like a guy, like it's ironic because they just beat the Lakers, but a guy that I tend to admire when it comes to leading is Jimmy Butler. Jimmy gonna cuss you out. Jimmy gonna let you know when you're wrong, but he gonna turn around and let you know when you right way more than you wrong. He gonna pick you up when you down. He's gonna talk on defense. He's gonna talk in the locker room, in the huddle. He's very active. Like, that's, in my opinion, that's how you lead right. You gotta let people know when they're wrong, but you gotta build them up way more than you bring them down.
What would you tell somebody that's worried about the level that they're being recruited to play at?
That jump don't matter. Recruiting is its own game at itself. Recruiting, in my opinion, is a joke because I don't think scouts really take their job as serious as they could, because we see a lot of guys that are busts, or we see a lot of guys that we look at and we're like, I've played that guy before. Ain't no way that he's here and I'm here. But and then at the end of the day, everything's God plan, so it's whatever. But I tell guys, don't even focus on that. Go to somewhere where you're wanted. Go to somewhere where the coach is calling you night in and night out, day in and day out, asking how you doing, if you ate, if you got to class on time, if you doing all the right things, you working out. Like, you gotta, like I said, you gotta go where you're wanted. Because if you're gonna go to college and you want to be D1, you go ahead. You can sit on that bench if you want to. You're gonna hate every second of it because you want to play as a competitor. But if you go where you wanted and it might not be D1, you're gonna be happy with the results because you're gonna be actually playing. You get to do what you want to do. And that's why I'm grateful every day that I chose Warner instead of some other opportunities that I had, because I wouldn't be a two-time all-conference player. I wouldn't be the returning leading scorer in my conference if I went somewhere off of the face of their name, off of the face of what level they are.
What would be one thing that you would tell somebody coming up trying to make it? Like, what would be your number one advice?
Stay locked in, stay loaded. Like, stay locked and loaded. Stay focused. Limit all your distractions. The party's gonna be there. The girls gonna be there. The extra fun gonna be there. If you really want it bad enough, you'll stay in the gym, stay in the books. You'll stay focused on your craft. So if you're really trying to make it, like you say, and knowing how I was, you probably telling everybody what your dream is. So if you really want it, you'll go get it one way or another.
If you're tuned into this show through YouTube, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody you think should tune in. If you're listening to the show through a podcast service or a streaming website, please subscribe to the show, leave a 5-star rating, and leave a review. Leave your thoughts down below on what you think about the show.